Georgia Toyota fans? Ben Ward here, your social media and community relations manager here at the dealership. So we've been playing a game of 21 questions with our sales consultants to kind of get to know on a fun and little personal level, to get to know the people that put you in your dream cars. So we are with none other than legendary Tony Long. A lot of people in the community know who exactly this guy is. So, but if you guys don't know who Tony Long is, well, that's why we're playing this game. So, Tony, before we play, why don't you introduce yourself a little bit, where you're from, and yeah, all that good stuff.
Yeah, my name's Tony. Of course, as has been said, been kind of a lifelong person of this community and stuff, in Chatsworth mainly. Been in Dalton 3 years of my life, a long time ago. Been in Chatsworth and was born and raised there and still there today. Love my little town.
Yeah, Chatsworth is a beautiful little town, man. Like Hunter's another Chatsworth night around here too. So, yeah, like every time I'm over there for business too to represent our dealership, like I always look forward, like, yeah, I'm going to Chatsworth. Yeah. Very beautiful little area. Gets you direct access to the into the Blue Ridge Mountains.
Love it.
It's beautiful.
Love it.
Yeah, man. So let's go ahead and play the game, man. A little game of 21 questions. So, Tony, so before the very first question, what got you started in the car business?
And it's been several years ago, but I was in the automotive floor mat business, been for about 19 years. For 10 of those years, I had my own business. Purchased the floor mats just wholesale, traveled around all over North Georgia, a little bit of South Georgia, actually selling mostly my products to car dealerships. Yeah. So that's kind of where I got a little bit of background with it. After the 19 years, got out of that business. Took a couple of years off, kind of messed with a few things, and looking for a job or whatever. I've always been in sales, and when I was looking for another position or a new job or whatever, I ran across, I just hopped in automotive, and salespeople and car dealerships would pop up, and saw North Georgia Toyota one day, and I thought, hey, I know these people, I know how good they are, I know the great product that they've got, and came in and put in a resume with Greg, and started about 2 weeks later. Yeah, and that's been a little over 10 years ago now. So
wow, that's awesome. Really cool,
great move.
Yeah, great story. I never knew that about you. That's pretty cool, man. Yeah. So what? How would you describe yourself in 3 words?
Yeah, I kind of thought about those, and being in the car business, whatever, honesty, being friendly, and being fair.
Yeah.
That's about the best 3 words that I can say that I try to be in this business.
Very cool. What was your very first car, and what do you remember most about it?
Well, the first car I ever drove was my mom's 4-door Caprice Classic, which was a sled. But there was a gentleman in Cleveland, Tennessee, kind of took me out of that car. He rear-ended me and stuff. But, yeah, and I got it was actually a Cutlass. A little 2-door, had T-tops in it. I don't know what happened to T-tops in the business, but had shiny wheels on it, and I was 18 years old. I thought I was cool, but the car was cooler than I was. But anyway,
yeah, man, that's cool. What's your favorite Toyota model right now, and why?
That would be a Tacoma. I was driving one when I started here, and I'm still driving one. Yeah, Tacoma for me is just perfect. I don't need a Tundra to tow a lot of big stuff. I have a bass boat. The Tacoma works fine with it. It pulls it good. It's just a good size for me.
Oh, yeah.
And great reliability, the resale value, the trade value, it's just everything about the Tacoma is great. So.
Oh, yeah. If I could get a truck right now, it would be a Tacoma to myself. I think Tundra's just too much truck for me.
It is.
When you and I went to the racetrack, did we do the Tundra? I think we brought the Tundra that time, right? Yeah, and I had difficulty trying to get out of that thing. You had to guide me out of that compact space of that racetrack.
Yeah.
It's like that. I was like, yeah, that's when I told you, I'm like, you know what? I'm reading the Tacomas from now on in this place. Yeah. The Tundra's just too much truck.
Tundra's great, and some people need that much truck, but personally I didn't. So
yeah, Tacomas. I like the Trail Hunter ones. Those are.
Oh yeah, they're nice.
They're really nice.
Personally, I like the off-road package, but yeah, I've had all 3 of mine. So.
Oh, really cool, man.
Oh yeah.
What's something customers would be surprised to learn about you?
That one may be a little more difficult to answer on that one. I don't know, Ben, just, I guess the way that I try to treat people and live my life now is a whole lot different than what I used to live my life a long time ago.
Cool.
And, there's some people, there's a lot of people out there that knew me back then, but I hope they've seen the change.
Yeah.
Good Lord's made a big change in my life. And, you know, so I'm just a different person than I used to be, and I'm thankful for that. So
That's good to know, Tony. That's awesome. Thank you for sharing that. What's your favorite go-to drink to kind of kick off to start your day? Like coffee, soda, sweet tea, Red Bull?
that's a no-brainer there. I'm a coffee guy.
Yeah,
So,
I love coffee. That's the life force of
oh, yeah.
of sales, automotive. I was manufacturing too. Like, you know, that's just a life force. You just can't start your day out with that good cup of
Oh,
coffee.
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, we have plenty of it here.
All day long.
All
You
day.
keep it going. So,
That's right.
Yeah.
If it's empty, let us know. Like, one of us will fill it up.
Oh,
So,
yeah, for sure.
Unless it'll be Tony or Coach, they'll be drinking it all.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Coach likes his coffee, too.
Yes, he
so,
does. Yep. What is the coolest moment you've had helping out a customer find the right car?
I guess the ones that I really like the best is younger people that, you know, maybe is just getting started, getting their first car, even if their parents are helping them out, which is a good thing, you know, for parents to co-sign or help the kids out with it. You got to start somewhere in the credit world. But to see those smiles, you know, when those young people, you know, drive out of here with their first car, you know, and it's a nice Toyota. It's even better than that.
Yeah.
But, you know, seeing that, I guess, is the best. I appreciate all my customers. You know, and love, I usually see smiles every time when they leave. But like I say, those first-time buyers and those younger people is really the ones that's really a blessing for me. So
Really cool, Tony.
Yeah.
So when you're driving alone, or you and Vicky or your wife are enjoying a little road trip, listening to some tunes, what do you like to listen to?
Mostly right now, I listen to gospel on XM radio. There's a couple different stations that plays a little different mix. And, you know, that's what I listen to mostly. You know, I still, you know, grew up in the, you know, the Leonard Skinner and the Bob Segers and the Styx and all that kind of music too. So, you know, as far as that kind of music, that would be some of my faves right there. So,
Oh, for sure.
you know, and it's still good music, you know, some of it. So,
Oh, yeah. So ChatGPT came up with the question, but it's really like in a nutshell. It's like, what's your favorite snack to eat? Is this what's your guilty pleasure snack to keep in your glove box? But like, what do you like to eat? What's your favorite food? You know?
yeah, that one goes pretty wide question there. I'm not real picky about my food. I like about all kinds of stuff. Matter of fact, I'm gonna throw a you know, big advertisement for them or whatever. My wife and I went Saturday night down to Buc-ee's. Well, we went to Calhoun and went to Buc-ee's and got some of their nuggets. You know, just I don't even know what they are, but boy, they're good. So I sat down last night and had about a half a bag before I realized I was finishing them up. But you know, any kind of snacks, chocolate, sweets are always good. You know, but I like you know, the fried chicken and steak, of course, and you know, foods like that. But
Yeah.
I don't stash stuff in my truck. I eat it. I don't get it in my truck and stuff. You know, or ride it around. If it's in there, I'm gonna eat it.
I don't know how you'll be able to eat a medium rare steak and drive at the same time.
You know,
But
we'll try that one. So, but no, I don't stash stuff in my truck. Like I say, if it's in there, I'm gonna eat it. So.
I remember you telling me one time in a conversation you love bread. You're a bread man.
Yeah. A meal has to have bread.
Yeah.
Whether it's a biscuit, a croissant, some cornbread, some kind of bread with a meal is good.
So we'll probably find bread in your glove box if you ever search your car. For some
You
reason.
might find it. Give some butter just in case.
Right. If Toyota made a vehicle named after you, what would it be and what would it specialize in?
Yeah, I guess it would be the Tacoma. I tried to think of anything else on that one. You know, it's funny, my granddaughter and my great nephews and nieces and nephews all just call me T. And I thought, well, T for Tacoma,
Okay.
you know, T for Toyota. Either way, so I guess maybe they could just make a new truck that's just like the Tacoma and just call it a T.
The Toyota T.
The T.
The T. That's like that.
If you'll think back, they used to have a T100.
That's right.
Their first truck, so. Yeah.
Oh yeah. You know, actually, Vince, our technician, actually worked on a 1988 Tacoma in his in our shop not too long ago. Talk about a classic.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
No doubt.
What life lesson or personal value guides the way that you treat customers?
That one goes back to what I was talking about a while ago, just a change in my lifestyle. You know, the Bible even says, you know, I'm paraphrasing a little bit here, you know, just do to others what you'd have them do to you.
Right on.
You know, I don't want to be, if I was in the market for a vehicle, you know, I don't want somebody to be pushy and tricky and lying. And, you know, that's just not the way I would want to be treated. So those values that I try to live my life day to day by, I try to do my business by it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just going to be honest. If it hurts, I'm sorry, but I'm just going to be honest with the deals. We're here to make money. Obviously, it's not a non-profit organization around here, but we'll try to be as fair as we can. And we've got to make money, but we don't have to make a month's profit on one vehicle and rip somebody off.
Right on.
I'm doing tricky things and stuff like that. And thankfully, we don't do that. So
yeah, good deal, man. Yeah. Who taught you the most about hard work or customer service, or both?
I would say that, it would go back to the one that taught me most of everything is my dad. Sadly, he passed away about 8 years ago, and, when I was younger and stuff, I thought both my parents were just crazy. They were stupid. They didn't know what they were talking about. And the older I get, the smarter they were.
Yeah.
And his values, work ethic, just everything was just amazing. And I guess if I had one person to, other than the good Lord, guiding, it'd be my dad.
Oh, that's
He's
good.
a special kind of guy.
Oh, awesome, Tony.
Yeah.
So, how do you make the car buying process easy for customers of all ages? And I brought this up on all the other podcasts. I'm a millennial, so I'm in my mid-30s, so but you are what considered a boomer. So, but you're dealing with people like us and the Gen Xers, the generation between us, and of course you got the Gen Zs, the generation below me, and now upcoming Gen Alphas, the young ones,
Okay.
the iPad generation.
Yeah.
So being an experienced car salesman, how would you deal with all people of all ages?
Mainly also, every customer is a little bit different in most cases. I usually try to figure out, where their questions are, what are their concerns, what are their needs. Some of the younger people they don't need a third row vehicle. Some of the older people, had some people in here the other day, they got 5 grandkids. So even though they were older and their family probably was grown and out, the kids not at home anymore, but they had 5 grandkids, so they wanted a third row vehicle to enjoy the grandkids with. You get the younger ones, the iPad kind of guys that you were talking about.
Yeah.
Obviously with them, technology is a big thing. So, I try to show them and incorporate into my sales process, whatever, explaining some of the, technology, some of the great features that our vehicles have that makes them, be able to use their knowledge. I get somebody in here my age, Ben, or older, some of that technology is a little bit over their heads most of the time. So, trying to make it simple, explain everything to them, try not to give them that deer in the headlight look when they leave, what have I bought here? I can't use all this stuff. So, every vehicle still has a brake pedal, it still has a gas pedal, and a steering wheel.
Yeah.
Just drive the vehicle.
Just drive the vehicle.
Stuff will take care of itself.
That's right. Yeah. But I will being out and about in the community when I do my job. I'll run into some people either on or off non-Toyota related things. I just I just talk to people, and when I let them know what I do, I've had somebody who goes, "Hey, so what's like the oldest car that you got on the lot?" Or this technology stuff. I think there's too much computer. I need something to. I can start the car and drive. And I'm like, well, if we go on a used lot, find Tony or find somebody. We'll go to. They're like, I want you to use. I want this new stuff. So you get those people.
Yeah. Well, even at that aspect, Ben, that's why Toyota is so good. Not only the safety, the reliability, the quality, the resale value, all that good stuff that goes with it, but they do make different models. In each individual lineup that does not have all the technology. All of them have some.
Mm-hmm.
Some people want everything, and we've got Platinums and 1794s and the Pros and that kind of stuff that does.
Yeah.
But we also have some base units, the SR5s, the LEs, those vehicles. They have the safeties there, the quality's there, but it's not overloaded with technology. So, that's another nice thing about Toyota's lineup is they've got something for everybody.
That's right, yeah. And Toyota gets let's go places. So,
That's right.
Yeah,
That's
go
right.
places,
Yeah.
they have everything, yeah. So what's the funniest or strangest thing that you ever found in a trade-in, Tony?
I guess the strangest thing would be a guy's pistol one time.
Oh, really?
Pistol is something that I would definitely not leave in a trade. The most common things are sunglasses and garage door openers. Those are all the time, and that's one thing I try to check before customers leave, because it happens a lot. But yeah.
Oh
We
my.
actually found a guy's pistol.
Wow.
That is not something that I would leave, so that would be the strangest thing for sure.
That is definitely pretty strange.
Yeah.
That's probably one of those things you don't want to forget.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
So, I actually called him back and offered to sell it back to him, But, of course, I didn't do that.
Yeah.
So, he could not believe that he forgot that part of it, so.
Oh my gosh.
But yeah, that's the strangest thing for sure.
That is definitely strange.
Yeah.
And kind of funny too.
Yeah,
but
a little bit weird,
Yeah. If you could take a dream road trip right now, what Toyota are you driving and where are you headed? Where are you and Vicky going?
Yeah, of course, I'm in my Tacoma for sure.
Yeah.
Anywhere I go, I'm in my truck. So, but I'd like to take a trip out to the Midwest sometime. Been blessed to be in a lot of different places, but just a road trip to see a lot of the countryside.
Yeah.
I've been all over the eastern half of the United States pretty much, but I've been out in the west some, but just to go to like Montana, Colorado, some of those states like that.
Oh, for sure.
The mountains and the prairies and that kind of stuff would be probably my pick.
Oh yeah, I've been out to Wyoming in the past and Montana years ago. It's even in the summer it snows up there.
Oh yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's still really pretty. Like Yellowstone
yeah,
is so
sure.
nice. So if you want to do like a true Midwest thing, like you want to know what old Americana, start in Chicago, Illinois, hop on Route 66 and just drive.
Yeah.
It'll get you to Santa Monica, California. So you kind of get the feel of like the old timey America on that route. And I realized when I grew up where I was from in Illinois, I used to live right off of Route 66. I didn't even know it.
Cool.
So it's a lot of interesting history.
Yeah. It was just there to you, right?
Yeah, it was just there to me, and
it was just a road, right?
The older I get, I'm a history buff,
Right.
so I'm thinking like, Mom and Dad, how come you never told me that we were minutes away from the first McDonald's and Dairy Queen? And to them, it's like, well, it's just there. But like to me, I'm like, what?
It was kind of, you mentioned talking about the city of Chatsworth where I live and stuff, the mountains and stuff, whatever. Sadly, that's kind of the way Ford Mountain is, and my wife and I both love Ford Mountain. We love to camp up there and stuff. I drive by it every day, so it's just there, but people come from all over the place to vacation up there. I mean, it's a really cool place, but once again, it's just always been there. It's Ford Mountain, so when I'm coming to work every day, it's right there beside me, but how many days do I actually look at it? So.
Right. It's always like the tourists, like even know more than the locals.
Yeah, sometimes.
That's the scary part.
Yeah, sometimes.
Yeah, like even the two people that know more about Chicago, downtown Chicago, more than the locals.
Right.
I lived there all my life. Never been on the Sears Tower. I just never did. Never really. We've done other things in the city, just not really that particular one.
Sure.
But like all these other people I know, like they have done that and. Like I just never been, it just never happened.
Yeah, it's just there.
It's just there. So exactly.
We do utilize it. We do drive up and spend some time up there and stuff. So.
Oh, for sure.
Matter of fact, New Year's Day, they always have the polar bear plunge. This year it was in the 50s, so it wasn't quite as goofy.
Yeah.
But we've actually been up there before. We had never done it. We just spectate. But one year it was about 32 degrees.
Oh, wow.
These people were jumping in this water, and we just laughed. But they think it's fun. So,
Polar bear plunge. They do that in Lake Michigan too. So.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's cool.
They can have that.
Right.
They can have that.
Yeah. So, what does community mean to you here in North Georgia?
As far as the community of Dalton and the surrounding areas and stuff, we take care of every customer that walks in this door, regardless of where they're from. I sold a vehicle to a gentleman from Atlanta just a week ago. I've sold them to people in Louisiana, all over the place.
Yeah.
But we are community driven. I know you get involved with tons of that stuff. And going even back to the days in COVID, that most, and I'm not going to say all, but most car dealerships were charging $3,000, $5,000, $10,000, $15,000 over sticker price for nothing, just because they had the vehicle. And thankfully, Eddie and Greg both at the time said, we will not do this to our customers, guys. We will take care of our community. We will take care of our people. And, being privately owned like that, they were able to do that. And we still get comments today about people coming back because the way that we took care of them, during that hard time. Eddie and Greg as a dealership could have sat back and made a mint, charging $3,000 and $5,000 over sticker on the vehicles we sold back then. Then they didn't do it. They took care of our community, and our community takes care of us. We are blessed of how many vehicles we sell in a little town called Dalton, Georgia.
Oh, indeed, Tony. And that's why, I've been here for almost, April will be my second year, this fiscal year, and I love working here. It's like how much a company that loves, that's faith-based and also like community-driven, and I'm all these things on, I would say everybody here is that way here at North Georgia Toyota.
Okay.
So it's great to be part of a family and communal aspect of it. So some people think families like red flags that people say at work, like, oh, we're family here. Like, they're like, oh, I don't know how I feel about that. Like, but here, I just notice it's different here. Like, it really is. Like, you're like the crazy uncle I never had. So, so.
Well, then it goes back to, like I was saying earlier, about my previous past history and my jobs and stuff when I was selling to those dealerships, And I mean, literally, I was all over North Georgia, part of Tennessee. I was in a lot of different kind of dealerships and stuff. And the atmosphere here is different. And I'm telling you, I've been in a bunch of them. And I don't remember any that had the relationships and the community feel, if you want to call it that, this place. It's just different. It's really different. So I appreciate that.
No, for sure. Yeah, man. What's something that you're grateful for today, Tony?
Well, and I kind of thinking about that one. I'm thankful for just breath of life. That the good Lord gave me today. Thankful for that every day. Thank you for the change that He's made in my life over 25 years ago now. That seems amazing to me because, I'm not real proud of the person that I used to be a long time ago. But thankfully, with His grace and mercy, He's changed my life, and I'm thankful for that every day. I'm thankful for my job. For this place to come in to work at. We start our meetings with prayer. A lot of dealerships start their meeting getting cussed out. And it just doesn't happen here. If you need something, managers, ownership, there people are here to help anytime. So I'm very thankful to be a part. And at my age, I'm getting a little closer to retirement. And unless something goofy happens, they run me off. I'll finish my career right here. I'm very happy, very blessed to be here.
Oh yes, and I could come to you or Keith or Coach or I would say you guys are definitely the prayer warriors here at North Georgia, and I could come to you guys and say, hey guys, I need some prayer, or hey, I have a friend or a family member that needs some prayer. You guys drop everything, no matter how busy you are. It doesn't have to be just for me because we're coworkers and friends. It's like. It could be a customer, it could be anybody, and you guys would care enough to say a prayer for all that. So it is pretty cool.
Yeah, we believe prayer works, and somebody asks for prayer, they need prayer, and we're gonna try to do it right then and there if at all possible. So. Oh,
for sure, yeah. What promise do you make to every customer who works with you?
The best thing that I can tell people on that. Just buying a car, I appreciate that. I really do. But I'm going to be here tomorrow. I'm going to be here next week, next month, whatever. If they have questions, anything that I can help them with, I tell them all the time, hey, I cannot get into the system to make a service appointment for you. If you have trouble getting through our system, then you should call me. I'll help you out making that appointment. We'll get somebody with you. It's not just the sale, it's the follow-ups after the sale and being here to answer those questions and to help them in the long run. Anybody that, it's not even one of my customers, so I can help them, let me know. Be glad to do what I can.
Right. Okay, so this one's kind of a game within the game. It says, buying a car for me is like, ... So buying a car from Tony Long, what's it like? Buying a car from you is like?
It's like, buying, I understand. Buying from someone who understands.
Okay.
I guess one thing, we get in this business, and I've been here over 10 years, I've been blessed to sell quite a few cars. and it can easily get routine to not think about what we're selling. You know, this is not a pair of shoes that you can bring back if you don't like them real well. This is most of the time the second largest purchase that most people's going to make, the home being first. I understand that, you know, spending $30, $40, $50, $60, $70,000 on something is a big deal. You know, and I take it seriously. But you know, I don't want people to be comfortable, be happy. I never want somebody to think back and say, he pressured me into that and I wish I hadn't done it. I can't do, you know, I never want that to happen. I want everybody to be happy with the process, happy with the end results.
Yeah,
so
for sure, man. What do you hope people remember about you after they drive off the lot?
It's kind of, not to be repetitive or whatever, Ben, but
Yeah.
you know, that they got an honest, fair deal. It was straightforward. Transparency is a word that we use around here a whole lot of times.
Yes.
And believe me, I've had a lot of customers sit down and, you know, tell me stuff about other dealerships that they've been to.
Yeah.
And it just honestly kind of blows my mind that, you know, the way that other dealers do their business and stuff, even today. You know, if you want to see numbers, we're going to show you numbers, and it's a real number. You know, we don't play games. Once again, transparency. You know, when they drive off, I want them to feel like they got a fair deal. They have someone they can trust.
Yeah.
They have someone that's going to be there for the long run for them. And if I can accomplish that, I've done my job.
So I guess, which will be the final question about nicknames, I guess we could call you Transparency Tony, TT.
Well, like I say, a lot of my family, my granddaughter and stuff, you know, I don't know if and there's nothing wrong with papas and papas and all that.
Yeah.
My dad was a papa. You know, I didn't feel like I could fill those shoes to be papa again. So, like I say, my nephews, great nephews and nieces and people like that started calling me T a long time ago. And that's what my granddaughter calls me now.
Yeah.
It's just T.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, kind of finish up the things up here, Tony. If you could give yourself a ridiculous, cool nickname for your coworkers and your customers to start calling you by, what would it be? What would it be? T, basically?
I guess so, because that's about the only thing that really comes to my mind. Of course, some of them, what is it, Roger calls it sometimes Tony Baloney and Tony P5 phony, and there's little phrase used to happen a long time ago. There's a couple more, of course, there's Roger. You got to imagine what he can come up with, you know, but anyways, but yeah, I guess T would be the best thing, so.
Well, you heard it here, folks. If you guys ever need to buy a car from Tony Long or T, if you guys enjoyed this interview, just kind of sitting down and get to know Tony. I've been working with Tony for almost 2 years. There's some stuff I learned about you today that I was like, wow, that's really great stories, Tony. Thank you for sharing not just with me, but our audience here. Yeah. Come on by and see us. Tony, is there anything else you want to say to the audience as we kind of wrap things up here? So,
just if you need anything in the car business, come by and see me. Pre-owned, new. If you just have some questions, you know, some of them I may not be able to answer. I'm not going to lie to you and make up something. I'm not that smart. Just being honest, but we do have enough people here, Ben, that does know all the answers that people are looking for.
Yes.
Now, I'll be glad to get a business manager involved if it's credit issues, if it's sales manager, you know, and that's another thing going back to this kind of dealership. You know, Greg, I can go to Greg. You know, if I need some help with him, he's more well, he's there.
Yeah.
You know, they're not a name on the door and a person that you don't see. You know, but another thing we'll think about the dealership, very few times in my 10 years in the vehicles I've done that there's been an issue of some sort. But I will say, every time, 100% of the time, we have done 100% what's right.
That's right.
Every time. And that makes me proud to be here as well. So, yeah,
Right
anybody's looking for a vehicle, love to help them. People maybe that sees this, I hadn't talked to in a long time, some old friends, come by and see me. I'm here quite a bit, so, you know, love to see you again.
Yeah, we get that a lot here, too. People just come by and say hello to Tony or to me or to Ben or whoever, like, they want to say hi to you real quickly. That you're always welcome to come by and say hello at any time to any of us.
Yeah,
So
swing by and have a cup of coffee with me.
Yeah, exactly. It's free coffee. You can't beat that.
Right,
Exactly.
right.
Free cup of coffee with tea here. So,
there we go.
well, friends, thank you, Tony, for being on the show.
Thank you, Ben.
Yeah, it was a good interview, and we'll see you guys for some future talks with some more salesmen.